Vote now for my Gundam submission on LEGO ideas, and it can be made into a real LEGO set. Link in the description.
What's up LEGO fans, I'm James May but not that James May, LEGO designer turned AFOL, and this is Tubeside, show we take a sneak peek underneath the brick to see how LEGO sets are made. So I guess this will be my last episode in this series, since after this I'm kind of out of LEGO sets, and it's been great being able to reminisce about all the LEGO sets I designed at the LEGO group and sharing it all with you. So now that we've talked about my big boy heavy hitter models, I thought I'd talk about some like the smaller models that I worked on, which I'm still super proud of them, but because of their small size there's not really that much I can talk about, at least without breaking NDA. So I thought I'd lump them all together into one big bumper video, so there's still some succulent nuggets of content to squeeze from this stone. So this was my second mod on the creator team, which I worked on at the same time as pulling my hair out over the ideas team on the typewriter.
You just have to say that you're fine when you're not.
This was a gift with purchase from 2021 to loosely coincide with Singles Day, a popular pseudo-holiday in China. Being based around coffee and being millennial trash myself, I wanted the minifigures to be as 2010 hipsters as I could possibly make with existing parts. The blacksmith had just released with the new apron printing, and I thought that would be a cooler, more artisanal look for the barista over the standard LEGO sissy one. As a coffee guy myself, I like that I got a bit more equipment in there rather than just the espresso machine. I put in a little grinder and metal milk jug for frothing. Diego, who I would later work with on BTS Dynamite, designed the stickers for this one, and we have the 1111 in there as a reference to the holiday. Although it then means that the bottle of water costs the same as the coffee, so either it's really fancy water or terrible coffee. This was my first model after I moved from creator to Disney. I took this model over from Ilya, similar to the super robot situation, but the other way round. I don't have too much to say about this, as the sketch model was already really good looking. My main task was all the behind the scenes stuff, with optimizing the build for age mark and getting it on price. A lot of work goes into designing LEGO models that you can't see in the final aesthetic results. I remember struggling a bit to get the chariot to be stable, buildable, and not too blocky, which I think I managed to do. While working on the palace for Disney, I was also working on the Friends team. The big model I made for them was the theatre school, but as a warm-up I was tasked with making all the promo models for 2022. This included 2 bolly bags and 10 magazine models. I worked on these with Antitza, designer of cool models like the Home Alone house and this really cool lightsaber hilt. For the polybags, in keeping with previous years, one would have mini dolls and be some kind of outdoor market stand, and the other would be a flower. The market stand had to be a 2-in-1, as it's a recruitment model designed to get kids into building and rebuilding. So I had to sell something that could be turned into selling another thing. My big innovation was seeing how the waffle tile kind of looks like those patterned jam jar lids, so this let me have both those elements. So the A model was the jam and honey stand, and the B model was a waffle stand. I was well chuffed with how I got the strawberry sign out of the heart and the leaf element. The heart element was new at the time, so I wanted it to be in these super low price points to get them in kids' hands. The flower model was fairly standard. I was quite happy with getting the circle on top of the plant pot to hide that it was just a 4-sided thing. Pretty basic stuff now, but at the time, I was still a new designer, so I was happy that I just got the shape to not look so blocky. I actually ended up quite under budget with this model, as I had enough to put in the butterfly too. I got 2 more heart tiles in there, and the propeller base gave it a bit more organic angle for the wings. The magazine models, we were given the subject matter by the publisher, and I would make little dioramas based on that. For the hamster enclosure, I was a bit under in the budget. I guess I'm just too good at my job. So to make up the rest, I just kept adding poo, and now it just looks like the hamster has a bowel problem. My favourite was the hairdresser stand. I was really happy with the hairdryer build with the Wii diffuser, and I threw in a wig which was only one model before. These polybag models were a great opportunity for me to get to grips with the LEGO Friends style, with the focus on little details, which I put to great use when I went on to design the theatre school. Back when I was on Creator, we were looking at new animals for 2022. I was making a llama, but not that llama. I was building digitally, and, kinda like a kid with Microsoft Paint, was just messing around with the colours, and realised I could make pretty decent piñata out of it. I presented it to my team, and they didn't like it. They were looking for something that was a bit more universal, and, you know, something that's actually an animal. I loved the little guy, so I kept him on my desk. Months later, At the time, LAL designer and first date star, Dan Squirrel, was telling me about how he'd be working a model for a birthday celebration, like a birthday cake, or the clown. LAL, or Licensing and Extended Line, are the team that work on all the stuff to do with LEGO that isn't necessarily to do with bricks, like backpacks, pens, and that kind of stuff. But they do actually also make models for promotional things like gift with purchases and LEGO retail store exclusives. I jumped at the chance to pitch in the piñata idea which I had brought to his team, and they loved it. Dan then took the model and did all the nitty-gritty bits of design that I mentioned in the underwater palace in back 2. He shrunk him down a bit to make him more of a donkey rather than a llama, but he also actually managed to fit a compartment inside him that can split open to have candy fall out. My favourite bit is his little blepping mouth. That's a Dan inclusion. As a designer, a lot of what you come up with gets left on the cutting room floor, so it was great that in this case, that this little guy got to see the light of day still. So this just about wraps up every LEGO set that I've worked on. I think there may be 1 or 2 coming out later this year, so I'll make videos on those, updating this when they come out. If you have any questions about the sets I talked about today, let me know down in the comment. I'll try my best to answer them. And if you have any topics that you'd like me to cover in a future video, also comment down below. With the conclusion of this series, my plan going forward would be to look at other topics to do with LEGO and behind the scenes that aren't related to specific sets or specific sets that I worked on. I think I'm going to look into doing reviews for LEGO sets and content like that, so hopefully that all goes to plan. Don't forget to like and subscribe for whatever content I release in the future, and thank you for coming on this journey with me, and I'll see you in the next one, whatever it may be. See ya!